See, reproduction in flowering plants in the last part is seed. So first we know that the final product of sexual reproduction is the formation of fruit and seed. And we know that ovary is developing into the fruit and ovule is developing into the seed. So now how an ovule get transformed into seed, that is we are going to study here. So we know the structure of ovule. How will we draw an ovule? So usually we will draw with the pistil and all. Now I am going to draw only the ovule part. So with pistil if I am drawing, maybe it's easy for you to understand. So we are drawing like this. Now here we will draw 3 cells like this. Here we will draw 3 cells like this. There are 2 nucleus in the center. ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ വരയ്ക്കുക അല്ലേ? ഇനി ഇതിനെ നമ്മൾ ഈ ക്ലോസർ വ്യൂ, ഇപ്പൊ ഇതാണ് ഇത്രയും പാർട്ടാണ് നമ്മുടെ ഓവ്യൂൾ. ഈ ഓവ്യൂളിന് നമ്മളൊരു ക്ലോസർ വ്യൂ കൊടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ how will we draw? So the ovule is having a covering of 1 or 2 layers. See, these are the coverings. So like this, there are coverings or layers. These coverings are called as integuments. There can be 2 or 3 integument layers. Now, so the ovule is covered by the integument. But in this portion, there is a small gap where integument is not covering the ovule. That part is called as micropyle. Through micropyle, the pollen tube will enter the ovule. So this micropyle is very important in the stage of fertilization. Later in seed formation stage also this micropyle is important. Now after fertilization, what is happening? All these, this one, center one is the egg or the female gamete. This female gamete becomes the, after fertilization it becomes zygote. So this is becoming the zygote. These two fuse together. These two are called as a polar nuclei. They fuse together to form the secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus fuses with the second male gamete and forms what is called as PEN. So this is PEN and this is the zygote. Now what happens to the synergics and antipodal cells? All these will degenerate. Now it is of no use, so they will get degenerated. So all these are getting degenerated. Now the structure that is inside the ovule, we are finding the zygote and the primary endosperm nucleus. This primary endosperm nucleus divides a number of time and fill this space. ഈ സ്പേസ് ഈ എംബ്രിയോ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ഈ സംഭവത്തിന്റെ പേരാണ് എംബ്രിയോ സാക്ക്. സോ ഓവ്യൂളിന്റെ അകത്തുള്ള ആ 7 സെല്ലുള്ള സ്ട്രക്ചർ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്ന പേരാണ് എംബ്രിയോ സാക്ക്. സോ ഈ എംബ്രിയോ സാക്കിന്റെ അകത്ത് ഈ പ്രൈമറി എൻഡോസ്പേം ന്യൂക്ലിയസ് ഡിവൈഡ് ചെയ്ത് ഒരു മാസ് ഓഫ് ന്യൂട്രിറ്റീവ് ടിഷ്യൂ ഫോം ചെയ്യും. അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എൻഡോസ്പേം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. 3 ന്യൂക്ലിയസ് ഫ്യൂസ് ചെയ്ത് ഉണ്ടായത് കൊണ്ട് അത് ട്രിപ്ലോയിഡ് ആണ്. So its ploidy is triploid. Okay. Now this will divide and form the endosperm, and then after that, now its zygote is already formed. The zygote will start dividing and it will form the embryo. But zygote ne divide ചെയ്ത embryo ആവാൻ നേരത്തുള്ള ഡെവലപ്മെന്റിനുള്ള nourishment ആണ് endosperm provide ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Is that clear to you? So the function of endosperm is to provide nourishment for the development of the embryo. Zygote embryo ആവാൻ വേണ്ടിയുള്ള nourishment. Now, when the ovule is converted to seed, what all changes happen? The integument becomes seed coat. So when seed is formed, the integument becomes seed coat. Now, this micropyle will remain as a small, minute hole in the seed coat. Then, inside, ഈ മിക്കവാറും എല്ലാ സെല്ലും എൻഡോസ്പേം ഒക്കെ എംബ്രിയോ അങ്ങ് യൂസപ്പ് ചെയ്യും. A small embryo will be formed. Zygote later becomes, so this was zygote. Zygote will develop into embryo. Okay, so when seed becomes seed, the integuments become seed coat and the zygote becomes embryo. This seed coat in the 2 layers. The outer layer is called testa. and the inner layer is called tegmen. ഇത്രയും ഓർത്ത് വയ്ക്കാം. So when the ovule is transformed into the seed, the integuments becomes the seed coat. Seed coat is having two layers, outer layer called testa and the inner layer called tegmen. The function of seed coat is to protect the seed. Now, the zygote will develop into the embryo using the nourishment provided by the endosperm. So, ഇതാണ് when it converts. ഇത്രയും കാര്യം ഓർക്കാം.